Welcome everybody to another episode of the Sit Down Studio. I'm here with upcoming streamer Jenny G. How you doing tonight?
Hello, I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
So the first question, because I'm gonna just dive right into it. What got you into streaming? What inspired you? Did you have anybody that you looked up to, like in the streaming world, that encouraged you to like just be like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna just start streaming.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for upcoming streaming, I think to know why I got into it, you'll have to know a little bit about my background. Growing up, I did have my mom. She would record us as little kids, me and my
Mhm.
siblings. She would have the VHS recorder, those
Yeah.
big cameras. She has always recorded us since we were young, so I've been confident in front of the camera since then. And ever since then, when I was in school, I would join clubs like the newspaper, media club to do the announcements, stuff like that. So I've always been comfortable in front of the camera and um, it actually got me into joining YouTube and making vlogs, which I did find streaming through YouTube because I would watch actually Case the Net and Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
And and through that, I went on TikTok because like everyone's joining TikTok, so I was like, okay, might as well. And I saw people streaming on there, and that's what got me started into it. And I was really inspired, and I just like the live feedback from everyone. It's just a really interactive circle, I think, and it's yeah, that's what got me into it.
Yeah, because like when you were talking about like the VHS stuff, it kind of reminded me. You familiar with iMovie?
Yeah,
Okay, so I don't know if you ever had this class, but like in middle school, I was at a charter school, right? And there was like this, I don't know what it was called, like filming or something of the sort, right? You go out, record like movie trailers, and then you edit it on the iPad. I don't know if you ever had like those type of projects before, but that's what it reminded me of. Like, you talking about your VHS, like your mom recording you. It just
mhm,
kind of, I guess, opened a little time portal to where like, my memory just goes back and it just, reminded me of like, I guess, essentially my childhood because I feel like, I mean, I know you stream. I'm right here doing a podcast, but I feel like they go hand in hand because at one point or the other, we were influenced by something. And I mean, most kids, for crying out loud, like, you know, whether it's their parent recording them, maybe some of them, because like I had a cousin, right? She would, just run around the kitchen pretending, that she was like vlogging. I forgot who it was that she looked up to. But
yeah,
like, I feel like there's just, a lot of common denominators. That's my big word of the day. But in your streams, because like I've seen you on my For You page here and there, and even last night, like I popped in for a little bit. But what type of like content like do you do? Like what do you aim for? Like when you be streaming?
yeah. I aim for lifestyle, basically baking, whatever hobbies I have, like drawing, anything really, making Legos, Lego building, with cars and everything. And tying back to what you had mentioned earlier,
Let
I
me tell
think,
you something. I hate to
yeah.
cut you off. You talking about Legos?
Oh, there we go.
Look at well, this kind of fell off while I was trying to show you, but
That's nice.
um
Spider-Man. Yeah, just tying it back to what you mentioned. I mean, kids can relate to us nowadays because they've grown up with having basically a video camera on their phone. They're being
mhm,
recorded all the time. So I think there's that relatability, and I think it's a cool thing to have. Just the older generation that has been streaming longer than the younger ones, they can teach them a little bit something, you know.
right.
But yeah, I mean, that's what we do on my stream. Legos, anything that we do. I have one right here. It was an SF90 Ferrari, but I got a couple ones back there too. We do that all on this page. Oh, look at that. Which
Okay.
one's that one? Is
Uh, Orange and Whitey. Actually, hold on. I think
that a Countach? Looks like it.
nah. These both. This a McLaren.
Okay.
and then I think there's a McLaren too. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, no, yeah, we out here talking about Legos and we having a little, show and tell. But
Yeah.
you got any more with you?
I do, but they're in the back. I got an
Like over
F40.
there?
Yeah, yeah. F40, a GTR, R34, R35. I have the F1 SF24. But yeah, this is the one we just did on the stream recently, so I have it right here.
Oh, is that's pretty cool. So like,
Yeah.
what was that? Like a Lamborghini?
This one's a Ferrari.
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
car people don't come for me. My bad, my bad. They,
No,
they,
no,
they, they, they gonna kill me, like I'm out here, calling the
you're
wrong car the wrong car.
yeah.
Hey, there's a reason why I stick to, dribbling and shooting the basketball. I don't know much
Oh, there we
about
go.
cars. That's y'all's, area of expertise. But that's cool. Um,
Sports are good, yeah. To be active and all of
yeah,
that. They do basketball. Any other sports you do or
it's
just
pretty
basketball?
much it. I mean, I played baseball when I was little, but you
Oh,
know,
okay.
but
Yeah. Oh.
no, I might have to take notes off of you. Building Legos on stream. That sounds like fun. Like I did it one time, right? But it wasn't like live. Like I recorded, like I made like a little.
Mhm.
Excuse me, I made like a little video of like I guess not like a time montage. I don't even know if that's the right word, but like
Yeah.
like just me like oh I'm at like I'm at this part, I'm at this part. It's when I made Batman, but I might have, doing it on live. That sounds, I might have to tap into that.
No,
So,
yeah, it's really fun. A lot of viewers like that. And honestly, like Lego has actually picked up more than it used to be. Like more recently, I've seen a lot of people get into Legos.
but I know you mentioned baking,
Hmm.
and look, I know you're probably really talented. Like my fault. I'm out here glazing. But like you seem like you know what you're doing because like my dad he was a chef, right? Um, that's not baking, but like I could tell when somebody's like good with food and stuff, right? Because I've been around like that. You get what I mean?
Yeah, for
But
sure.
um, so most people would ask like what type like what type of stuff like are you like you good at making like what do you I guess what are your favorite things to bake? But what I want to know is because I feel like that's a boring question. I feel like my question's a fun question. Um, has anything not gone according to like plan while you baking on like live? Like, see, have you burnt the house down?
No, no, we haven't. But my viewers might think I have. No, you guys, no. The thing with baking, you never know whether it's gonna go right or wrong. You're gonna know until it's finished, you know. Especially for me, I don't really bake. I don't really cook. So when it's baking, it's always fun. To answer your question, one time I accidentally overbaked some cupcakes, and while I was trying them, they were really dry. It's not supposed to be like they were like burnt low key, but they were chocolate, so you can't really notice it. But I had to pretend they were really good on stream. So I had a really straight face just trying these burnt cupcakes and having a smile on my face. And obviously my viewers can see right through me. So they were like, nah, she burnt them and all of that. But yeah, that's the type of stuff that happens on live streams. Like you never know what's gonna happen. It's live.
And then what happened like after they I guess thought that you burnt them? Did you try to like I guess throw some flavor on there? Like
Yeah, I put
what
some
did you
frosting on there, whatever we could. But either way, they were burnt, so there's no way helping them. We just gotta keep practicing though. That means I have to make some more.
So you're telling me that like my instinct, my gut feeling of you being a good baker deceived me? You out here burning stuff? Dang,
Okay, no,
Jenny.
those are my first streams. I don't burn stuff anymore. Those are my first
Okay,
streams.
okay.
Yeah,
So
we're good.
I could trust you with the cupcake or a
Yeah, yeah,
brownie, right?
I got you. Yeah.
So you're telling me, if I'm ever in the area and you give me a brownie or a cupcake, my
Yeah.
stomach ain't gonna catch on fire, right? Like I'll be good.
No, no, you're good. You're
Okay,
safe.
okay,
I'm good. I'm an expert now.
okay. Well, I trust you.
All right.
But no, that's pretty funny. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's pretty funny.
It happens. Yeah, it happens.
Next time you're baking on live, I gotta see that for myself. Not because I want to see you burn the house down,
No, no, no.
but
You gotta
like,
trust me. Yeah, for sure. You gotta be
but
there because you never know what's gonna happen. For sure. I've
yeah,
gotten better.
like when you go live, like going live, that
Mhm.
stuff's not rehearsed. That stuff's not planned. I mean, like even now, like I told you ahead of time, because like I mean, essentially, like making a podcast is similar to going live, right?
Mhm.
Like you get in front of the camera, you start talking. But even here, like we, I told you I was like, this is what I have in mind to talk about. Da 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 da. Like like we agreed on some stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, this what we're doing right now, it wasn't rehearsed. So like
Right.
I feel like live, like what you were saying,
Yeah.
it's unexpected. So with
Yeah.
that being said, whenever y'all see Jenny G on your For You page, y'all better go watch. Cause I mean, shoot,
Mhm. Yeah. It's unplanned, so
she
y'all
might
gotta
not
keep
burn. She
watching.
might. She might not burn the house down. She might burn the street down. I'm just kidding.
No, no, no. I got you guys. No,
No,
don't blame it on me.
no.
No, yeah.
Like
You never know with live streams.
I gotta see. I gotta tap in more with you. Cause like I do a little bit already, but
Mhm.
just by talking with you, um, I could tell you're a very fun, energetic, and you engaging well with me. So I know you engage well with your your audience, your comment section. As long as they not trolling, right, or being rude.
Right, right. That does happen, and it's like with the internet, you
Mm.
know, you never know who's on there, and you just
Yeah.
gotta ignore those, but keep pushing.
But now like see, there's this girl I know, right? Dana. Like
Hmm.
she my friend, right? But I know sometimes like when people are like getting out of pocket, like in her live, they'll just be like, "What does it?" She'll be like, "What does M stand for?" M being muted, right? And then she'll just be like muted, and then just like get them up out of there. Do you have like anything like like a little funny saying that you like to do before giving somebody the boot after giving them like warnings and stuff, or not?
Any funny things? I do have moderators, so they do help me
Mhm.
out a lot. They have control over my stream.
Right.
So sometimes there's nothing that I need to do, basically.
Mhm.
But when there's people like that, um, I just wish them the best because you never know what they're
Right.
going through. We just try to make it like a friendly environment in our chat.
Yeah.
So if it's offensive to me, to anyone in the chat, we try to stay away from that. Try to include everybody in there, being positive and just having good vibes basically in the chat. So that's all we strive for, to be honest.
Yeah, you just, I guess, you just try to be the bigger person and you don't engage with it then.
Yeah, that's it.
That's pretty cool, It's always nice to see like how people approach things, because everybody's unique. Everybody has their own ways of doing things.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes, when I first got on social media back in like middle school, oh my God, like, I knew better. And this is the crazy part. Like, I knew better, but
Yeah.
I would get a thrill out of, trolling back,
Okay.
making, people mad, like when they were trying to make me mad. Cause like I would find it funny, like, you trying to make me mad, but you ended up being mad. But then, as I got older, I realized, well, you're just wasting your energy doing that, you could
Yeah.
be more productive.
It comes with character development. Like when
Mhm.
you're at that younger age, everything's like a joke to you. But you grow up and you realize like they're actual people. It's like actual people looking at your comments. It does affect people. So it's all about character development, to be
Right.
honest.
No, yeah. Even to this day, I'm still working on that character development. Like the way I like to see it is like, there's always room for growth.
Yeah, for sure.
But
I agree with that.
so most people know that when I broke my foot like a few years back, I couldn't really do anything basketball. Well, I couldn't do anything basketball related because in order to, play basketball, you gotta have both of your feet, right? Like
Yeah.
you can't out here be hobbling around, you know. I'm gonna
For
be out
sure.
here looking like I'm playing hopscotch. No, you can't, you can't do that for basketball.
Right.
But when I was in my cast, right, especially
Mhm.
like the first month or two,
Yeah.
um, I was just rotting in my bed, till like I discovered some new hobbies, and those hobbies like helped me keep my mind occupied. Some of those things were drawing. I would grab them and show you, but they're up on my wall. They're actually pinned on the wall, and
Oh, nice.
I'm kind of too lazy to go over there and grab
Good.
them.
Good.
But you gotta uh drawing, coloring. Like there
Mm.
were like these little not coloring books, but it was like this package of like posters, and then you just color it in. I
Oh,
got
okay.
into that. Um, Building Legos, like what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Um, Preferably Marvel related.
Oh, yeah.
Mostly
I love
Spider-Man.
Marvel. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Who's your favorite character?
Yeah. You mentioned Spider-Man. I'm a Captain America girl.
I'm an Iron Man person.
Iron Man. Oh, I love
Yeah.
Civil War. That was a good one.
Yeah. Dang, we not on the same team, man.
No, we're not. It's okay though. My
Yeah.
family, they go for Iron Man for some
Mhm.
reason. So I'm the one who's the opposition here. It's
You know
funny.
what? I mean, you're cool. I'll join Team Captain America just for you.
Okay,
But
good. There we go.
not like like Marvel related Legos, and there was like these little puzzles, right? Not puzzles, but like you know, it would like come in like these like little wooden thingies like from Harbor Freight, and
Yeah.
then you break them apart, and then you piece them together, and then you spray paint it, and then you get to like have like like a dolphin or a car, just like it was like this little arts and crafts type of thing, right?
Yeah.
Those are like the type of things like that I picked up like as hobbies, when my foot was broken, right? To keep my mom busy.
Yeah.
So that kind of leads me into like my question. By any chance, do you have any like hobbies that you enjoy to do?
Yeah, I do have a lot of hobbies that I like to do on my own. Like basically what me and my sister do, we do a lot of karaoke at the house.
Mhm.
Like honestly, we've done it on live stream before, but a
Oh,
lot of
really?
times we do it without the live stream. It's just like a hobby of us. We like singing, even at our church, anywhere. We love
Mhm.
singing. Drawing like you, I think I like to sketch, I like to paint, Legos, the gym, watching races like F1. Yeah, those are basically like my hobbies.
Um, I feel like when it comes with art, like especially drawing, I guess you kind of get to dive into somebody's like mind essentially, through that little piece of paper because most people when they draw, you can
Hmm.
tell like what they're feeling for the most part. And
Yeah,
even if the drawing isn't good, essentially, you could tell by like what colors they pick,
yeah,
et cetera, or like, if it looks like a bunch of scribbles, well, they probably, a little bit angry, right?
yeah, yeah.
Well,
You get to know them, and I actually have some if you want to see them.
ooh, I
I
want
have
to.
I have only two of them. It's not my best work, but it's something I wanted to show.
Hey, it's probably, you probably Picasso compared to me,
Oh
so.
no, I'm not. But yeah, these are like you said, like it tells a lot about a person. I'll
Mhm.
show you my painting first, and then I'll show you a sketch I did. These are just like a little brief one. This is a painting I did. This is a hummingbird. It's
Ooh,
one of my favorite animals. Yeah, I
my
love it.
God. That's beautiful.
Thank
So
you.
that's what, like a hummingbird?
Yeah, it's a hummingbird.
I don't know much about birds, but I knew that was a hummingbird.
Yeah, that's
That looks beautiful. So like, where can I find that? That way I could, get it on my wall.
yeah, you get a little image print. This is the one and only. Maybe more, I'll do some more
Mhm.
work, but yeah, like hobbies work. It's just
Yeah. Hey,
whenever you
I might have to, because I'm moving. I might have to hire you to, paint some stuff that way I can hang it up in the wall, especially when I get that studio, right, for for the
oh,
pod and stuff.
okay,
I might have to hire you because
there
like
you go. Yeah, I'm down.
that was beautiful.
Look, this is a sketch I did. This tells a little bit of a story. If, I don't know if you can see it very well.
I see.
American flag tied with the
Yeah.
flag. It's just
No,
like
that's very creative.
Chicano culture, basically. That's what that is.
Mexico.
Yeah, there we
Yeah.
go. And it's just like random drawings, you
This
know.
ain't a drawing, but
Oh, there you go. Let's go.
but
Yeah,
no,
ready
no,
for the
like,
Mundial.
no, you're I like your creativity. I love your artwork. Like I said, I'm gonna have to, tap in with you as soon as like I move. That way, you could
Yeah,
maybe you're about I'm trying to think. Maybe like 4 hours north. Maybe you could, deliver some stuff over to the new house
sure.
and I could have it in, displayed everywhere. That'd be cool.
For sure. Yeah, I'm down.
You're very talented, Shout out to you. Like
I
if I tried doing that,
no,
it gonna look terrible.
no, no.
But but
Yeah.
I know you mentioned singing, right? Do you have a favorite singer that you enjoy listening to, or like while you're growing up, or even now, like when
Mhm.
you're at the gym or just doing stuff around the house? Like, I mean, you could just be, just chilling in your room, doing like, something around the house, like cleaning, moving around, or like I said, working out at the gym. Like, who who is like your favorite like singer or singers or band?
Okay, yeah, I like that question. It's funny because like the music can really affect like your mood. So yeah,
Yeah.
like you said, depending on like the gym, daily life. Right now, my favorite singer, it's been singer. Her name is Sarah Natalie. I don't know
Hmm.
if you've heard of her, but um, I mean, you can find her music pretty much anywhere. She does. I feel like she has a lot of encouraging music. I like to hear a lot of that, whether
Yeah.
I'm at the gym, whether I'm working, anywhere I am, basically. Even on my live streams, I play some of her music. But one song that really, really stands out to me is by Los Lonely Boys. It's called Heaven. I don't know if you've heard that song.
I might have. It sounds
Yeah,
familiar.
it's called like it's like How Far Is Heaven?
Mhm.
That's one of my favorite songs. So yeah, I can relate a lot to both of those that song and Sarah Natalie's music. I think those are
Mhm.
two people or two songs that really resonate with me. If you want to know more about me, I would suggest just hearing more of Natalie's music because I resonate a lot with it.
You said Sarah Natalie?
Yeah.
Let me
And it's
see.
like Natalie with the H, like Nath.
This right here?
Yeah, her, for
I might
sure.
have to tap in. I might have to tap in. But-
Yeah.
So like if I listen to like her songs,
Mhm.
I'm gonna instantly, connect that to you then.
Yeah, yeah, that's how it is.
Okay, I
So,
might have to, check that out. That way, I get a better understanding of you. And, for our listeners, well, watchers, right? Because,
yeah.
listeners and watchers, if you want to, get a little bit better of a, damn, I can't speak English today. If you want to understand Jenny G a little bit more, you heard her, tap in.
Hmm.
But, no, so, I mean, that's pretty cool, it's always nice to, I guess, have different like all sorts of talents. That's pretty cool. You're not one dimensional. You're very is diverse the right word?
Yeah.
Yeah, like like you could do multiple things. Like Captain America.
Right, Captain America.
But so what's some of your favorite places like you've been to or events that you've attended? And I mean, after that, maybe you might want to tell me about like some places you want to visit in the future or things you want to attend, like what's on your bucket list? What's on the bucket list for
Mhm.
Jenny G?
Yeah.
And, where have you been?
Yeah, I mean, places I've been, something that I do want to mention, like, I don't know, I don't think I've told you this, but I I have solo traveled. I've traveled by myself, but in the States. I went to Seattle. I did a solo trip, I think like
Mhm.
2 years ago. I would say that was a really wide opening trip. Just being
Yeah.
literally on my own. That was the first time I ever did it. Being like a young adult at the time, it seemed like a really big step. I would encourage people to do it, even like as a woman. I mean, you gotta take precautions, of course, but it's
Right.
still like really eye-opening. Yeah, I went to Seattle. It was one of my favorite places that I've been to. Um, any trips that I want to go to. I mean, I do love the East Coast. I've been to the East Coast like 2 times already. I love going there. I would like to go again. Maybe go out of the country to Japan is one of my dream trips
Mhm.
because of cars, the car culture, or Italy. Anything car related, I'm down for. There's an F1 event in Vegas, the end of the year I want to attend. So hopefully that's one of the things that I want to add to my list too. So yeah, that's what I got going on. And yeah, I've just been in the States pretty much. So
Mhm.
nothing out of the country.
No, yeah, that's pretty cool. I know you mentioned you said Washington, right?
Yeah.
I've been out to Oregon,
Oh
and
yeah, it's
that area. I
hmm
love that area. I know the people over there that live there, that grew up there. They don't
right.
like the area, but then at the same time, like, if you live somewhere your whole life, you tend not to really like it, You tend
Yeah,
to like the
true.
places,
hmm
uh you go
Yeah,
out and visit. But now over there, it is beautiful over there.
for sure. I never been. I never been to Oregon, so I
You'll
need
love,
to put that on my list.
you'll love it. Especially,
hmm
when we off this, I'll, put you on some places if you're ever out in that area, to go check out.
Yeah.
Nature is beautiful over in Oregon.
I've heard that. Yeah, a lot of my friends have been there. I'm just the only one who hasn't. I've
Mhm.
been in Seattle, which was the closest. It was just a couple hours from there, so
Mhm.
definitely.
What my favorite, part about being over there is I'm pretty sure most people don't know this,
hmm
that like, aren't from there. But there's certain times of the year that the sunset goes down like later than expected, like sometimes you'll have like daylight at like 10 p.m.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that happened to me in Seattle.
yeah,
It was like 9:30 and the sun was still out. It was crazy.
you was probably confused, huh?
Yeah, I was so confused.
But no, like it's beautiful over there. And I know you mentioned like, F1. Have you
Yeah.
ever been to like, I guess, car meets or anything like that?
Yeah, I used to go to a lot of car meets. It started off, so let me see. Back 2020s when I really started to go alone, like to car meets. But I do more car shows now.
Yeah.
I think anything car related is honestly it's such a great community. Like anyone can bring their car. Everyone respects all builds. I know not all the builds get respected, but for the most part they do.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, just some car shows. There's some famous auctions here in Arizona for sure.
Mhm.
In Scottsdale. That they do. Those are really nice because they bring vintage cars, like rare cars, supercars.
Mhm.
So if you're into any of that, I would suggest honestly looking at Arizona. And I know
Yeah.
Cali is really big for their car shows too.
Yeah. So that leads me into, our conclusion,
hmm
the last thing that I want to ask you, and I'm hoping that, you could be genuine and, honest about this, like with the audience.
hmm
Um, do you have any piece of advice you would like to leave, like with everybody? Like maybe something that was life changing, whether it's like, personal, like a personal experience that, most people need to hear that, could have a positive impact on them, or that's like, life changing essentially. Like, something that I guess, happened with you that you feel, comfortable to share with like
Yeah,
people.
for sure. I know we were talking about like car meets when I like started to
Yeah.
go and all of that. So basically, in my life, like to understand more of me, the reason why I'm like this, the reason why I seem more joyful, I would say, you all need to know a little bit about my background. And with that, back in 2020, when I mentioned I started to go to car meets, I used to go to those car meets that are just not with the good intention where you find a lot of danger, put myself in a lot of danger back then. Part of it was because I was depressed at the time. I felt like I had no joy. I had nothing going on for me at that time. So I was looking for happiness in other places, and that's actually how I got into going to those type of car meets. But honestly, in 2021, I started to go to church again, to my church. It's an English church, and the reason, like, I'm saying this is because, like, we're being genuine, like, on the podcast,
Yeah.
and I wanna make sure I share my story. So I started to go to church. Honestly, God helped me through it all. I feel like Jesus helped me, after prayer. He I felt like I needed to get baptized, and ever since I got baptized, honestly, all the depression went away, and I started to go to healthier car meets, basically like car shows, being active in auto auctions, just being there with everybody. I feel like it changed my life for the better. And it's not the old Jenny that other people that used to know me may know. It's a new Jenny now, and I feel like I feel so much better. Just some encouragement too. I keep some verses, like daily verses in my mind like Philippians 4:13, that's a good one. But overall, like, I think just what also helped me was having friends around me, family, just reaching out. Honestly, all of that.
Mm.
It's been a good journey so far.
No, yeah. I mean, that's, I appreciate, you sharing that. Um,
Of
I
course.
mean, shoot, like when things are more positive in like, somebody's life, you can tell. Like, your skin glows, you smile more, like you just feel that positive energy. Like, like I'm not talking about like me, I'm talking about like, the people around you, like in general. Like, I'm just like saying
Yeah.
in general, like you can just feel it. So,
Yeah,
it
so it's
is-
good to surround yourself with those type of people too. So, yeah,
and
just some encouragement for sure.
and I'm happy for you, that you were able to, I guess, make the adjustments you felt necessary to make because I mean, shoot, some people they keep going down that path and down that path and
Right.
that, either it's, they try to, make those changes too late or
Mm, right.
unfortunately, it is too late because
Yeah. You got to keep going though.
yeah, I've had, a couple of friends growing up that unfortunately aren't with us today.
Sorry to hear that.
Like may they rest in peace, right? Like, but their, decision making wasn't the greatest. So, but I appreciate your time, the time that you took, to come on and have this conversation with me. We definitely, need to have like a part two, like set up a future episode in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, I know usually this is like the time that you stream on TikTok because it's 9:52 p.m.
Okay.
Usually you're on live. So, it means a lot to me knowing that, you put that like on hold to come on here
Of
and have
course.
this conversation. Like it truly means a lot. But Jenny G, ladies and gentlemen,
Thank
boys
you
and girls, whoever is watching this, cats
for
and dogs, animals. But you were saying something?
Yeah, I was gonna say thank you for having me, and I believe in this work. I believe that you're doing something good here, your podcast, and you're grinding. I like how you check up on me before we did the podcast, just to make sure I feel comfortable and everything. So yeah, I appreciate you
Yeah.
having me on here for
No,
sure.
yeah. I hope because I know this is like, your first collaboration type
Yeah,
of project thingy majiggy. So I
yeah,
hope it was a great experience.
it was.
But
Yeah,
you did great. You did great, Jenny. And the people watching this, they know
yeah.
you did great too. So with that being said, make sure to hit that sub button, the sit down studio, and also give Jenny G some love. Have a great night, everybody.